Hello everyone, my name is Eric Taramons, and today I'm going to be talking about a Chinese figure manufacturing company called DCTER and their Dragon Girl Claritas. I actually have an unboxing video that I made. I'm sorry the quality's not the best, but I'm going to show you that right now, and then I'll get back to talking about the figure right after. It's just, as you can see from the title of this video, it's very unfortunate all the stuff that I had to go through with this, and it's really like, I feel your pain if you've already gone through this sort of thing. It's just, it's so depressing. This thing is kind of like unique because I would have usually ordered from Miami to come to my country, but when it was first announced, they didn't have it available on Miami, and when I messaged the company, they said they weren't sure if they were even gonna get it. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy. I was at like a friend's wedding the other day, and it was like 6 in the morning till 2 in the morning, so I am like a little burnt out. But it was amazing, and I came home to this, which was really a great surprise. So this is DCTER. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the company, so I'm just gonna say the letters like that. Claritas or Claritas. Honestly, she has like a couple of different names. I don't know if they knew what they were going with, but she looks very pretty, and it's probably the most lewd statue I own, so you have been warned. This is 18 and up. There's no nudity at this thing, but it's still like a little sexually explicit. So let's get into opening this box. Right before I start, one more thing to mention. I ordered this from Taobao, and I had to go through like a proxy delivery service called Panda Buy. So I'll talk a bit about my experiences using them as well, how it went down and what the price point was for everything on this compared to something like Miami, and the shipping. Like for real, the box looks okay. Like I wasn't sure, you know, like going straight from China to another Chinese company to here, like Miami usually boxes things, so everything's very well protected. I don't know about this. I paid a bit extra to have like the bubble wrap, but they give you a lot of options, which is really great, and I'll talk about that after I'm done opening her up.
C'est là où se tourne la musique.
The bubble wrap. I paid a bit extra to have it. I think it was worth having on here. I almost paid for like little corner pieces too, which wasn't too expensive, but then I told myself, it's in a box, and with enough bubble wrap it'll be okay. I wasn't sure how much bubble wrap they would put. In the pictures, they showed like a ton of it. There's not a ton of it, but I think one layer is pretty good. It seems like really solid bubble wrap.
And you speed it up so we don't hear me talking.
And now she's finally out of the box, so I've got a couple of things to say. The first thing is that when you order from a proxy server like Panda Buy, they do a quality control check before they ship it out to you. So she's already been opened, but she hasn't been taken out of like the hard plasticking shell. Like they kind of just pulled her out of this box, make sure she's okay, especially since the box itself is all like smoky here.
It's frosty, not smoky.
Why would they choose to do that? I know that the Miami one actually has a little hole cut out so you can see her face. Because this one's not going through Miami and it's direct from China, the packaging actually is a little bit different, and it's a bit surprising. So let's get her out of here and see what she looks like. One thing to mention real quick, they ripped the box while trying to open it. So if you like to have your boxes in immaculate condition, because some people do, it's not a good idea, like go through Miami. They also bent and ruined the cute postcard it comes with artwork of the future dragons, so I'm not happy about that. And she's completely ruined. The paint job on her and everything was completely ripped up, destroyed, and she's broken. So I spent a lot of money getting this here, and this is the biggest disappointment I've ever had for a figure. I don't even know how I'm going to review this thing right now. I'm going to have to pause the video, really go over it, contact the company, and get back to you to let you know how everything turns out. And we're back in the future. I had gone back and forth with the shipping company Panda Buy. they wanted me to send them videos. Luckily, I made that unboxing video. I sent that to them. I sent them a bunch of pictures to show them what had happened, and I was pretty sure what my issue was. When I had opened her, all the protective plastics and foams that were in front were not on her. When I made this purchase, it was said that they do quality control checks, but they don't open packages like this, and I had to be responsible if there was an issue for it. Well, imagine my surprise when they sent me the video on their end of the unboxing of them opening her up completely, taking her out of the plastic protection. All of the little pieces in the front, the foams, all got moved over to the side, and then they shoved her back in there. She has these really cool little chains on the side here where they kind of broke on shipping. They could have broken right when they put them back in the package because they were kind of aggressive with it. Also, when you saw that video when I opened up the plastic, it just opened right up. There's no tape or protective anything, like nothing sealing it properly. And in their video, you could see them struggling to get the plastic back in the box. They ripped the box and they shoved the little like postcard in there, ruining it immediately. It was a nightmare to look at this video. I would love to share it for you now, but due to legal reasons, I don't think I'm allowed to, so I won't. I'm just explaining it to you. So Panda Buy kind of really messed me up on this one. After a back and forth of one entire week, they finally said, "You know what, Eric? We're gonna give you back $50. And I'm here thinking, well, this figure cost me $250, so that's not good enough. I want you to send me a new figure. I don't, like, that's all I want. That's all we ever want when we order something like this, right? Is the new figure. So, lo and behold, another week goes by, and then they tell me, okay, we'll repay you for the figure in full, which they did, which was a really good win, I suppose, because I still have this figure, didn't have to ship her back or anything, and I didn't pay for her, but I still paid quite a bit for shipping, which they didn't cover, and again, I would rather just have a figure that looks good, that's not broken. So it's very disappointing, very frustrating. I don't think I'll be using them anymore for something like this, but I have to mention that it was very professional on their part to at least cover the figure, especially since most of the problem was on their end. Now, let's say breaks aside and damaging aside, we talk about just this figure and how DCTR did on making something like this. I have a couple of Chinese figures, and I gotta be honest, I'm not that happy with any of them. It's not to say that I'm happy with all the Japanese figures that I've gotten, because most of them are probably created in China anyway. It's just to say that, like, I feel that the quality is not always there, especially compared to the photos you see. Right off the bat, there aren't very many highlights. I mean, on the base there are, it's kind of a unique looking base, but I'm a little disappointed about how the rocks and stones kind of go up into her heels. Really love the gold, I think it looks beautiful. I love all the purples, I'm such a big fan of purple, and having a bit of the metallic with the matte is a nice touch, like it looks good. But there are a lot of parts that I find lack paint application because everything kind of comes off as being rather bland, especially since there aren't enough highlights. She's supposed to be wearing, like, I don't know if it's kind of like tights or it's a bodysuit, but they should have put better highlights on her and maybe darker areas in the right places. A lot of the spots that have shading doesn't really look professionally done. It just looks like it was airbrushed on there to say, oh yeah, this is where this is supposed to be, but it's not very well developed. Oh my goodness, you can see all that damaging on her. That's such a disappointment all across the chest. She has damaging on her right arm, and then she has a couple of scratches down by the leg. It's just so frustrating, but again, I won't talk about that. We'll just keep talking about the figure here. The face is very beautiful. I'm kind of sad that the original illustrations that we saw of her, she had a bit more blush, and I enjoyed that. Now she doesn't have so much. It's not as dominant. The drool coming out of her mouth, and even the drool piece on her chest look plasticky and very poorly rendered. I love the hair. The hair is so nice. Definite win for me on this figure. Again, there's not really any highlights on here, it's just shading, but I just think the mold and the sculpt is very good. So, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like the sculpt in general on this figure is pretty good. It's just the paint applications afterwards that weren't done so well. The whole neck piece she has looks really good. I love the pieces that go into her mouth. Her eyes are beautiful. I love the elf-style pointy ears. The horns look really good on the outside, but as you kind of get into the inside, there's no detail. They kind of just look like geometrical shapes all stuck together. I mean, it almost looks like it's made out of clay, but there's nothing that makes it feel like it's actually a horn. Her wings have so much detail on it, little scratches here and there and damages here and there that are supposed to be on the figure, and they're kind of cool, but I feel like they almost should have been real holes in her wings, not just little scratches that just show paint underneath. There's some highlights on her wings and they're all metallic. I think that's cool. Her tail looks fantastic. For real, her tail is really, really good. Overall, though, I've just been so frustrated about everything that I went through with this figure, but the figure itself, I mean, now that I got my money back, would I buy another one off of Ami? No, I wouldn't. I'm just a little too disappointed in the lack of paint applications on this figure. It's really too bad. One cool thing I'd like to mention is that with her saddle, you can actually put a figure on there and have the figure riding it. That's very cool. I think the concept is very cool. I think the silhouette of this figure looks really cool. Like I said, the sculpt is gorgeous. It's just the finishing touches and the paint that I'm just kind of sad they didn't put in that extra work. And for real, I get that a lot with Chinese figures. I have the Genshin Impact ones they've released over the years, and even those ones, it's always so close yet just so far. I mean, the Ning Huang statue looks beautiful and it has a lot going on, but I find the face is a little off, and faces are so important. For me in particular, I mean, perhaps not for some of you watching, but when I watch a cartoon or a TV series or play a video game, the face is the first thing that pops for me. If it's full of expression, or if it's deviant or anything like that, I think that's cool, and if you can put that in a figure, it means so much. Kind of like how Alter has these Azur Lane statues coming out the wazoo. They just keep making them, and their facial expressions are incredible. Like, Formidable's face actually looks like she's posh and pouty, and that she thinks that she's so much more superior, but she holds back. You can get all that from just the face. So it's very important to me, and a lot of my Chinese company figures, they're just not all there, and it's just kind of a shame because they have so many great concepts, and again, the sculpts look very nice. It's just the finishing touches that I feel are lacking. Maybe I'll make a video a bit more on that in the future, but for now, I'm happy that I got my funds back, but I am kind of overall disappointed in this figure, and again, the horror story that I had to go through with it was so sad. I've had a couple figures break on me in the past in shipping, dealing with Ami and a couple other companies, and every time they would ship it back to the other company, and I would get back what I had paid for. It was always pretty great, and I didn't have to pay extra for shipping. It was very amazing, very professional, but the company that I worked through, which was Panda Buy, you know, I don't know what to say. I think I pretty much just said it all. I'm just rambling at this point. So if you see this figure and you think, wow, if I had that, minus all the damaging, I'd be very happy, then I'd say go for it, because again, her sculpt and her mold is very beautiful, and her face is still really well done, and the hair is nice, the wings are cool, the tail is amazing. But if you're on the fence about it, I'd say watch a couple other reviews, maybe go on My Figure Collection's webpage, check out some of what they've got going on there in photos, and I don't mean the professional photos, I mean like the people that bought it, their photos, to get a better idea of what you're looking at. This way, you know, you don't have a bit of a buyer's remorse, because I do, and I didn't pay that much for this figure. It's too bad. She was really one of my most anticipated figures of the year. I love Monster Girls, and this thing was Monster Girl all over. It's rare that we get Monster Girls like this. You know, usually they don't go the whole distance, they go like halfway, and I feel like the design concept of this is really... In any case, if you like this video, maybe just a little bit, it doesn't cost anything to hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell if you want to follow me in future videos. And there will be some. I'm working on them. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a little while, so I'm going to try and get back on track. It's just that I was very busy working on my manga comic called Blithe. My goodness, I just finished my latest chapter, and that took like a year and a bit of hard work to do, so I had to just finish it up. Regardless, that's over with. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!